Listen to me carefully. Your life is chaos right now. Your mind is scattered, your goals are buried under distractions, and you're drowning in your own excuses. But let me tell you something powerful. Chaos is not your enemy. Chaos is the arena where warriors are born. Everyone wants peace, everyone wants balance, but nobody earns peace without first walking through the fire. You want control, you want power, you want respect, then you must conquer the chaos inside you before it consumes everything you could have been. You see, chaos is not some storm that comes from outside. It's not your job, your relationships, your bills, or your problems. The real chaos lives inside your mind. It's the voice that says you're too tired. It's the feeling that says you'll start tomorrow. It's the addiction to comfort, the endless scrolling, the laziness you justify with fake self-love. That's the chaos you need to crush. You want to be a king? Then learn to rule your inner kingdom first, because no man can dominate the world if he can't dominate himself. Let me give you the truth most people run from. Life will never be calm. The world doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't slow down for your sadness. The world belongs to the men and women who wake up no matter how broken they feel and say, I will face the storm head on. You don't get stronger by avoiding chaos. You get stronger by standing inside it and refusing to fall apart. Every great champion, every empire builder, every legend, they all had to fight through their own chaos. The difference? They didn't run, they didn't cry, they conquered it. Every day you have two choices, either control your chaos or let your chaos control you. When you hit that alarm clock and choose to stay in bed, your chaos wins. When you procrastinate, your chaos wins. When you let fear dictate your choices, your chaos wins. But when you rise, even when your body screams no, when you push forward despite doubt, despite pain, despite confusion, that's when you win. Because every disciplined action is a weapon that cuts through the noise. Every moment of focus builds a wall between you and weakness. You must become the eye of the storm, calm, centered, unbreakable. Chaos can rage around you, the bills, the noise, the betrayal, the pressure, but you stay grounded. That's real power. Not fake motivation, not cheap positivity, control. That's what separates men from boys. Everyone wants success until chaos shows up. Everyone wants greatness until life gets messy. But the top 1%, they thrive in chaos. They adapt faster. They move with precision when everyone else is panicking. That's how you rise above mediocrity, by mastering the storm, not escaping it. You have to start treating your mind like a battlefield. Every day, fight for focus, fight for discipline, fight for clarity. If your thoughts are wild, tame them. If your emotions are unstable, command them, because the man who can't control himself will never control his future. That's the raw truth nobody wants to hear. Stop blaming the world. Stop blaming your past. Stop saying it's hard. Of course it's hard. It's supposed to be. You're trying to transform chaos into order. You're trying to build an empire from your own pain. That's not easy, but that's what makes it worth it. Chaos is not your curse. It's your classroom. The world will never hand you peace on a silver plate. It will throw you into storms, expecting you to drown. But those who rise, those who refuse to collapse under pressure, they become unstoppable. Everyone wants a strong mindset, but strength isn't born in comfort. It's built in the fire. When life gets chaotic, when everything feels like it's falling apart, that's your signal that transformation is taking place. Most people run from chaos searching for calm. But warriors, they stay in the arena and learn how to fight. You must understand, chaos isn't here to destroy you. It's here to rebuild you into something greater. You see, people love to talk about success when it's convenient. They love the idea of discipline, greatness, and focus until life gets messy. The bills, the pressure, the failures, the loneliness, that's when they quit. But real growth doesn't come when life is smooth. Real growth happens when you're broken, tired, and uncertain, yet you still refuse to stop. The chaos around you is not your enemy, it's your test. Every challenge is sharpening your blade. Every setback is building your armor. The weak hide from this process. The strong face it, even when their hands shake, because deep down they know that diamonds are made under pressure, not in comfort. You want to be powerful? Then stop avoiding the storm. Step into it. Let it hit you. Let it break your limits. Let it teach you who you really are. Chaos exposes your weaknesses so you can destroy them. It reveals your fears so you can face them. It strips away your ego so you can rebuild your confidence from truth, not fantasy. Every time you feel lost, frustrated, or defeated, that's not the end. It's the start of a new version of you. But only if you stay in the fight. The majority will never understand this because they chase ease instead of excellence. They want results without resistance. They want control without struggle. But that's not how power works. Think about every great person who's ever lived. They all had one thing in common: chaos. Their lives weren't peaceful. They faced failure, criticism, rejection, betrayal. But they didn't use those as excuses. They used them as fuel. Every punch life threw at them made them harder, sharper, smarter. That's what chaos does. It forces you to evolve or crumble. And if you keep showing up, if you keep moving forward while others are quitting, you will start to notice something. The chaos that once scared you now strengthens you. You stop running from the storm and start commanding it. You stop doubting yourself and start trusting your discipline. That's when you become dangerous. Most people will never experience their true potential because they never embrace discomfort long enough to meet it. The moment chaos appears, they look for distractions. They blame luck, timing, or people around them. But those who conquer chaos, they sit with the pain. They analyze it. They learn from it. They turn every chaotic situation into an advantage. When everything around them burns, they don't panic. They rebuild. They see chaos as feedback, not failure. That's the mindset of a conqueror. So when your life feels chaotic, when everything is spinning out of control, remind yourself, this is where champions are made. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're not falling apart. You're being shaped. Every sleepless night, every painful loss, every stressful moment is your training ground. The chaos is not here to break you. It's here to reveal you. Because in the end, the man who learns to move through chaos with purpose, with composure, and with focus, he becomes the one thing chaos can't touch: unstoppable. Your mind is the battlefield where every war of your life is fought. It's not the world that stops you. It's the voice inside your head that whispers weakness, that feeds you comfort, that tells you to quit when you're inches away from victory. The man who can't control his mind will always be a slave to his emotions, and a slave can never be a king. You want to rise? You want power? Then learn to control your thoughts like a general commands an army. Your mind must serve you, not sabotage you, because every great empire, every legend, every success story was built by someone who mastered their own psychology before they ever mastered their environment. You wake up every day with two forces inside you: the mind of a champion and the mind of a coward. One wants to grind, to win, to dominate. The other wants to rest, to delay, to find excuses. Every morning you decide who wins that war. Most people lose before the day even starts because they let emotions dictate action. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for the right time. But motivation is nothing compared to mental control. You'll never be consistent if you depend on feelings. Feelings are weak, temporary, unstable. Discipline, on the other hand, is pure power. You tell your mind what to do, not the other way around. The mind is the most advanced weapon you possess, but most people treat it like a toy. They feed it garbage, they let it wander aimlessly, and then they wonder why their life is chaos. The human mind can be trained to become razor sharp, but that requires focus, repetition, and control. You must audit your thoughts the same way a king guards his castle. What enters your mind shapes your world. If you keep feeding your brain distractions, fear, and negativity, don't be surprised when your life reflects exactly that. You become what you think about daily. So feed your mind strength, not doubt. Feed it focus, not fear. Every thought you entertain is a seed, and you'll harvest whatever you plant. When chaos strikes, when the world falls apart, the man who controls his mind stays calm. He doesn't panic. He doesn't crumble. He observes, calculates, and executes. That's what separates winners from the masses. Most people lose their composure at the first sign of pressure, but pressure is a test. It exposes who's in control. You can't afford to let your emotions hijack your logic. You must train yourself to stay grounded when everything around you screams collapse. That's when your mental discipline is revealed. Not when things are easy, but when things are brutal. The man who can command his emotions during chaos can command anything in life. You must realize that your mind will always resist change. It will whisper lies telling you that you've done enough, that you can rest, that comfort is deserved. That voice is your enemy. That's your weakness talking. The part of you that wants to stay average. You have to silence it with action. Every time your mind says stop, you go further. Every time it says you can't, you prove it wrong. You break your limits by disobeying the voice of fear. You don't wait for confidence, you create it by conquering hesitation. Mental mastery isn't built in peace. It's built when your mind is screaming for relief and you keep moving anyway. Every powerful man is calm because he's in control. He doesn't let the outside world dictate his inner world. That's real strength. The ability to stay centered no matter what chaos erupts around you. Your thoughts should be your soldiers, disciplined, focused, obedient, not wild, weak, and emotional. Once you gain that kind of control, everything else becomes simple. Because if you can command your mind, you can command your reality. The truth is brutal but simple. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. Society, media, fear, laziness, they'll all pull the strings of your thoughts until you no longer recognize yourself. But if you take that control back, if you make your mind your weapon instead of your weakness, you become unstoppable. The world bends for those who bend their minds into weapons of discipline. And when you master your inner world, there is no chaos strong enough to break you. Chaos is the mirror that shows you exactly who you are when the world stops pretending, when everything around you shatters, when your comfort disappears, and when life punches you in the mouth. That's when your true reflection appears. It's easy to talk about strength when life is smooth. It's easy to post quotes about discipline when everything is going your way. But chaos strips away the filters. It removes the mask. In that raw, uncomfortable silence, you meet the real you, not the one you show the world, the one you hide behind excuses. That's where character is exposed. That's where you find out if you're built for greatness or built for comfort. When house hits, most people fold. They panic, they complain, they look for someone to blame. They think pressure is unfair, but pressure is the truth teller of life. You can't fake strength under pressure. You can't fake discipline when everything collapses. That's why chaos is essential. It separates the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the warriors. Every storm you face is asking one question: who are you really when everything falls apart? If your answer is silence, you've got work to do. Because character isn't proven in calm waters, it's proven in the fire. Think about it. Anyone can be confident when things are going right. Anyone can act tough when the paycheck's coming in, the body feels good, and life is smooth. But when chaos erupts, when the path disappears, when betrayal, loss, or failure hits, that's when true strength shows up. That's when you find out if your mindset is built on emotion or discipline. Most people crumble because their identity is built on conditions. They only believe in themselves when life supports them. But the strong, the ones who conquer life, they believe in themselves even when everything turns against them. They operate on principle, not circumstance. Chaos is not here to destroy you. It's here to introduce you to the version of yourself you've never met. It reveals the cracks in your character, the gaps in your focus, the lies you tell yourself. That's the gift of chaos. It exposes the weak spots so you can fortify them. When life gets rough, that's your chance to build real resilience. You learn patience when plans fall apart. You learn humility when ego gets crushed. You learn self-control when emotions run wild. Chaos isn't the end, it's the forge. Every time you endure it, you come out sharper, harder, more dangerous, but only if you face it with courage, not fear. When you hit rock bottom, the world won't save you. No one's coming to fix it. That's the moment when your inner strength either wakes up or dies. And make no mistake, chaos will visit everyone. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. The difference between average and exceptional is simple. Average people break, exceptional people build. They look at chaos and say, good, now I get to prove who I am. That's the mindset of a conqueror, one who thrives when others panic. Chaos doesn't scare him, it excites him. Because deep down, he knows that every storm he conquers adds another layer of armor to his soul. You have to start viewing chaos as feedback. It's life telling you where you're weak, where you're lazy, where you're still pretending. Every emotional reaction is a lesson. Every moment of pressure is a test. You either learn from it or repeat it. The reason most people stay average is because they run from discomfort. They avoid truth. They reject chaos. But that avoidance keeps them soft. The man who looks chaos in the eye and keeps moving, no matter how heavy the load gets, becomes unstoppable. His mind becomes unshakable, his will unbreakable, and soon chaos stops being his enemy. It becomes his training partner. So the next time life falls apart, don't complain. Don't beg for mercy. Observe yourself. Watch how you react. That reaction will tell you exactly how strong or weak your character really is. The goal is to become the person who stays calm in the fire, who can smile when everything burns because he knows it's just another chance to sharpen his edge. That's what chaos does. It doesn't define you, it reveals you. It doesn't destroy the strong, it exposes the weak. And the beautiful part? You get to decide which one you'll be. Comfort is a slow poison disguised as peace. It whispers in your ear, telling you you've done enough, that you VE earned a break, that tomorrow is the better day to start again. But every time you listen to it, you trade your potential for weakness. Comfort feels safe, but it kills greatness in silence. The world has taught people to seek ease, to avoid pain, to prioritize feeling good over becoming good. And that's exactly why most will never rise. Power doesn't live in comfort. Power is born in discomfort, in pain, in chaos, in sacrifice. Every time you choose the hard path over the easy one, you're building a version of yourself that can't be broken. Look around. The average man is addicted to comfort. He avoids anything that demands effort. He wants success without struggle, validation without value, and results without responsibility. But the truth is brutal. Comfort makes you weak. It dulls your instincts, softens your edge, and drains your hunger. You can't sharpen a blade that never meets friction, and you can't strengthen a soul that never faces resistance. The moment life becomes too easy is the moment you stop evolving. Growth begins the second you step outside that bubble of comfort. When you do what others refuse to do, you need to understand that comfort is the enemy of purpose. The more comfortable you become, the less hungry you are. And without hunger, there's no fire. Without fire, there's no power. Comfort lures you into mediocrity and then buries you there. It convinces you to stay still while life moves on without you. Every minute spent in comfort is a minute stolen from your potential. The real warriors of life are the ones who chase challenge, who crave discomfort, who look at difficulty and say, perfect, now I get to grow. That's the mindset that separates dominance from decay. You can't build an empire with soft habits. You can't develop unshakable confidence while living in ease. Discipline and strength are forged through suffering, through those early mornings when no one's watching, through those long nights when you keep pushing even though everything inside you says stop. Comfort is the illusion that makes you forget what you're capable of. It gives you short-term pleasure and long-term regret. Because every time you choose comfort, you reject your future self, the one that could have been unstoppable if you just endured a little more pain. The truth is, most people will never reach their potential because comfort gives them an excuse not to. They'll say, I'm tired, I'm busy, or I deserve to rest, and slowly they'll fade into mediocrity without realizing it. That's how comfort destroys you, not with pain, but with pleasure. It doesn't crush you instantly. It slowly dissolves your drive, your ambition, your dominance. And one day you wake up realizing you traded your greatness for comfort, your discipline for distraction, your potential for peace that never even satisfied you. The strongest people in the world are the ones who live outside comfort permanently. They train their mind and body to operate in pressure, to function when others freeze, to keep moving when others quit. They don't chase comfort because they understand that peace without progress is just decay. Real peace comes from power. From knowing that you've earned your strength, that you've conquered your own weakness. Comfort hides weakness, challenge exposes it. And only when you expose it can you destroy it. Every time you feel that temptation to relax when you should grind, that's a test. Every time you think, I'll do it later, that's a battle between your higher self and your comfortable self. You either rise or you rot. Comfort will promise you happiness, but it delivers regret. The grind will promise you pain, but it delivers greatness. You have to pick one. The path of power demands discomfort. It requires sacrifice, pressure, and endless repetition. But when you walk it long enough, something incredible happens. You stop craving comfort because the grind itself becomes your peace. The struggle becomes your rhythm, and that's when you know you've broken free. When comfort no longer controls you, but you control it. Discipline is the ultimate weapon. It's the invisible armor that protects you when motivation dies, when chaos hits, when everything around you starts falling apart. Motivation is for amateurs. It's a spark that fades the moment life gets difficult. Discipline, though, discipline is the fire that keeps burning, even in the dark. It's what separates the men who talk from the men who do. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, it's worthless. Because talent gives you potential. Discipline gives you results. Every morning you wake up, you're being tested. The alarm rings, that's your first battle. Do you rise or do you snooze? That single choice defines the rest of your day. Weak people let their emotions decide for them. Strong people let their discipline lead. You think discipline is restrictive? No, discipline is freedom. It's the control you have over your own destiny. It's the structure that gives you power in a world built to distract and destroy your focus. The man with discipline owns his time, his thoughts, his actions. Everyone else is a puppet to laziness, emotion, and chaos. You want to know why most people fail? Because they wait to feel like it. They want to be inspired before they act. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. It cares about consistency. Discipline says, I do it because I said I would. That's strength. That's integrity. The moment you stop letting your mood dictate your grind, you step into a different league. You become dangerous because now nothing controls you. Not fear, not doubt, not fatigue. You move regardless. And that right there is how legacies are built. Discipline is your shield against chaos because it gives structure to the storm. When everything is uncertain, when plans fall apart, discipline gives you direction. It's the one thing you can always rely on. The disciplined man doesn't crumble under stress. He moves through it with precision. He doesn't panic. He executes. While the world loses its mind, he sticks to the mission. That's why disciplined people always win. They don't get distracted by emotion. They get guided by purpose. They've trained their mind to obey, not negotiate. The truth is, your habits are your reflection. You don't become successful by accident. You become successful by design. Every action you take, every habit you repeat is building or breaking your future. The world respects consistency more than intensity. It's not about doing it once with passion. It's about doing it every single day with discipline. When others rest, you work. When others quit, you continue. And soon that discipline turns into dominance because repetition doesn't just build skill. It builds identity. You stop trying to be disciplined. You become it. It's in your DNA. Understand this. Discipline is not punishment. It's power. It's you taking full responsibility for who you are and who you're becoming. When you train your discipline, you silence weakness. You silence fear. You silence the chaos that tries to pull you off track. You become the calm in the storm because your habits hold you steady. The undisciplined man wakes up in panic. The disciplined man wakes up with purpose. That's the difference between surviving and conquering. There will be days when you feel exhausted, when everything inside you screams to stop. That's the moment discipline steps in. That's when you prove to yourself that you're not controlled by comfort. Because every time you do what you said you'd do, especially when you don't want to, you build mental armor. That armor is what protects you when chaos strikes. You don't have to rely on luck. You don't need someone to save you. You've already built the habits that will carry you through. Discipline is the reason some men rise and others disappear. It's the difference between being remembered and being forgotten. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. When discipline becomes your default, chaos loses its grip. You move through life like a machine with a mission, unshakable, unbothered, unstoppable. And when you live like that, there's no chaos too loud, no storm too strong, no failure too heavy. Because discipline turns every obstacle into a stepping stone and every day into a victory. When the world goes mad, when everything starts collapsing around you, that's when you must become the calm, the eye of the storm. Most people panic when chaos hits. They lose control. They let fear drive their decisions and they become victims of circumstance. But the man who masters himself, who commands his thoughts, emotions, and energy, that man becomes unshakable. He doesn't run from the storm. He stands in the center of it. Everything around him can break, but he remains still, focused, and untouchable. That's what true power looks like. Control, not panic. Precision, not reaction. You have to understand something. Life will always throw storms your way. Pressure, failure, betrayal, stress. They're all part of the game. You can't stop the storm from coming, but you can choose how you stand inside it. Weak men get swept away because they let emotion override reason. They make decisions out of fear instead of focus. But the strong, the disciplined, the dangerous, they move through chaos with cold clarity. They don't let noise distract them. They don't let uncertainty shake them. They see the bigger picture. They trust their mission and they execute like machines. That's what it means to be the eye of the storm. Calm, centered, unmovable in a world addicted to panic. The reason most people fail is because they think peace means no problems. But peace isn't the absence of problems. It's the ability to remain composed in the middle of them. You'll never find a world without noise, but you can become a mind without noise. That's power. Real strength is not loud, it's silent. It's when you can sit in the middle of chaos and say, I'm still in control. You don't fight the storm emotionally, you outlast it strategically. The man who can keep his head while everyone else loses theirs is the one who walks out victorious every single time. To be the eye of the storm, you must train your emotions to obey logic. You must train your mind to see opportunity inside disaster. When life falls apart, most people see an end. The strong see a reset. They see a chance to rebuild stronger, cleaner, sharper. That's what makes them dangerous. Because chaos doesn't break them, it reveals their control. The man who remains calm under fire becomes a leader by default. Others start looking to him because calm energy is contagious. While everyone else is screaming, he's planning. While everyone else is quitting, he's executing. That's dominance in its purest form. Being calm in chaos doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being emotionally disciplined. You still feel fear, anger, and pressure, but you don't let them dictate your moves. You learn to breathe in the fire, to find silence inside the noise. That's what gives you the edge, the ability to act when others freeze. Most people think chaos is an obstacle. It's not. It's the training ground of the elite. Every storm you survive strengthens your control, your patience, your precision. You don't grow when everything's easy. You grow when life tests your composure and you refuse to lose it. When you can operate with calm intensity, you become unstoppable. Your enemies can't rattle you, your problems can't scare you, and your emotions can't rule you. You become a fortress, unshakable from within. That's when success starts chasing you instead of the other way around, because success loves control. Power respects discipline, and chaos fears calm. The man who can smile in the storm has already won the war. Every storm eventually ends, but the version of you that comes out of it will depend on how you handled it. You can emerge broken, or you can emerge bulletproof. The storm doesn't decide that, you do. You can let chaos destroy your focus, or you can use it to sharpen your instincts. You can let bury you, or you can let it forge you. The storm is just a test. The question is simple. Will you be consumed by it, or will you become the calm within it? The ones who conquer life are the ones who stop running from storms and start mastering them. Be the calm in the chaos. Be the eye of the storm, the one that never moves, never shakes, never breaks. Because when the world burns, the calm man commands it. So here's my challenge to you. Stop running. Stop waiting for life to calm down. It never will. Face your chaos. Look it dead in the eyes and say, I'm stronger than you. Conquer your mind and you'll conquer your world. Every struggle, every setback, every chaotic moment, it's not here to destroy you, it's here to reveal you. The man who can control chaos can control destiny. So tighten your focus, sharpen your mind, stand tall in the storm, because greatness doesn't come from peace. It's forged in chaos.